I was getting all these leads as a Webflow developer, none as a web designer. If you do both these skills, you can apply for twice as many jobs. Companies love this because they're effectively hiring two people in one. This is actually how I got hired for my current job. I want to talk to you about how you can double your chances of getting hired as a web designer in 2024. First of all, hey, my name's Finn. I'm a website designer for Antler.co. There's actually a really simple way to double your opportunities as a web designer. Now, I've used the same principle to get freelance clients for over 2 years, and I even use it to get hired for my current job. The way you can double your opportunities as a web designer is by becoming a full stack designer. A full stack designer is someone who can both design the website and then also build it, can also develop that website. If you do both these skills, you can apply for twice as many jobs. You can apply for web design jobs, and you can also apply for web development jobs. I know what you're thinking. Learning web development is hard. There are these website builders that allow you to build completely custom websites without learning to code. You can learn Webflow development, and you can also learn Framer. The world is changing and the job market is changing, where because of the high competition, becoming a website developer and designer is almost becoming the same thing these days. So if you're only designing, then you're really limiting yourself. Another cool thing is that when you're, say, in a job interview for a development position and you're also a designer, companies love this because they're effectively hiring two people in one. You can develop for them, but also do your designing for them. They've actually got 2 employees on their team now. This is actually how I got hired for my current job. I started as a Webflow developer, but I mentioned I also come from a design background, and then I'm now the website designer for my company. But I was first hired as a website developer. There's so many more clients and companies looking for website developers than website designers. You see, when a client thinks about building their website, they have a platform in mind and they go to a web developer. A lot of clients don't actually know that the web developer isn't necessarily the web designer. So they just look for a Webflow developer or a Framer developer, completely forgetting that there's actually a designer involved in the project. Now, in a lot of cases, this website developer does know how to design, but the point is that website developers get more leads than web designers because people have a platform in mind. When I was freelancing, over 90% of my projects were development based. I was getting all these leads as a Webflow developer and none as a web designer. Yet, on so many of these projects that I was a web developer, I was also being the designer. But I only got that role as designer through being a developer, even though the design starts first in the process. Kind of weird, but this is how clients think, and it's actually a little secret that you should know. So let me just tell you what I would do if I was starting out. Again, I would be improving my design skills, of course, keeping on studying my design, but I'd also be developing a lot of skills around a specific platform, okay? Whether that is Webflow or Framer. Those are my 2 options that I would recommend, Webflow or Framer. Webflow's a bit more advanced, Framer's a bit easier to learn for designers. To summarize what I've just said, designers who also develop have twice as many opportunities as just web designers. And companies love hiring full stack designers because they can both develop and both design. Therefore, the company gets to hire 2 different employees in one. And thirdly, website developers are in higher demand than website designers. This is because clients generally look for a web developer before they even think about the design, which means that website developers have a lot of work on their hands. I think for web designers, learning development is the best use of your time if you're looking to get hired as fast as possible. So get into Webflow or get into Framer and make it a part of your skill set. Then you want to start applying for development jobs, letting the client know that you can also take care of the design for them, increasing your value to the company. Hopefully that was helpful to you. If you've got any questions about career advice for web design or any recommendations or just any comments, feel free to leave them below and subscribe for more design content. See you soon.